back. This is a little video I like to call Fun with Strings. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to go and mess around with some strings a little bit, change some stuff about them. So the thing about variables, and whoops, one moment, let me actually click on the actual thing so I can actually do this. The thing about variables is that every variable has stuff you can change about them. Okay? So, and that stuff is normally represented with a period, as you're going into something and then you have to type something else after the period. And I'll be showing you that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a string here, and I'll just name this once again. Remember, you want to name things whatever it is you're looking for. So if you're going to name something the total, well, you better be looking for a total. If you want to name something taxes, well, I hope that variable is calculating taxes. So I'm going to name this one book title because I'm going to use a book title as an example for this. And right now the book title is currently nothing. It is a blank string, there's nothing inside it. It's just double quote, double quote. So it's currently nothing. But what we're going to do is we're going to input something. So now what I can do is I can say, you know, book title equals input. And what is an input? An input is a situation where a player can type in something, whether it be, you know, in my tic-tac-toe example that I showed earlier of, you know, hitting ones or whatever to select the square, or if a hangman game, select a letter or something like that. What we're going to do is we're going to input something. And this is one of those situations where whatever you're inputting is what you're going to be. But at the same time, we also need some sort of, you know, instructions for people to know. So I'm going to say something along the lines of like, type a book title here. And I'll also tell them, press enter to confirm. Because what you're going to have happen here, and make sure interactive mode is turned on. If interactive mode is turned off, it will not work. See, we'll try it with interactive mode, and it's going to time out at around 40 seconds or so and tell us, you know, that we can't do it. You know, it runs, you know, it's running inputs, and if you're running inputs, try to make sure you have the STD box in, or if you want to, you know, here it is. If your program reads input, please enter the inputs in the STDIN box. That stands for standard input, or try to enable the interactive mode option above. So I'm just going to go and label the interactive mode on, and now when I hit execute, you'll notice that it says enter a book title here, press enter to confirm, and I'm blinking. I can type something right here and then hit enter, and then once I hit enter, the code will run its course and go there. So what you have inside the quotes in an input is just letting people tell you what it is. So if I were to prove that, I'll say, you know, print, you know, /n, whoops, quote, /n/n, and then I'll say something like, you know, the book title is, and I'll make a /t, and then, there we go, separate this out. I'll say book title. Easy enough to understand right there. I've added a couple lines of space. The book title is blank, book title. So now when I execute this, I can now choose what it is I want. So if I say the book title is the, whoops, Hunger Games, and it's going to remember that G when I hit it, but yeah, see, it remembered the G. Even though I hit delete, it remembered it. Let me just do that again. If I say that this time it is Harry Potter. And there it goes. It remembers the book title is Harry Potter. I physically typed that in. That is what an input does. So that's what you can do. You can input something and switch it into that. That'll work. Now, at the same sort of scenario, let's go and do this again. This time, let me just copy and paste this, and I don't need the new lines. I won't need the new lines. But this time, instead of doing book title, I'll do book title dot. Now remember, I said the period would be a situation of we're going further inside the variable. So think of it like we're going inside our bucket, and we're changing something about it. We're making it a different color. We're making it bigger. We're making it smaller. However it is we want to organize this bucket, we are now going to organize it. And I'm just going to pick upper. So now, instead of being the case that I put it in, so let me just say, like, you know, it's the Lord of the rings. Hit enter. Now, the second version, because I picked upper, has now become the Lord of the Rings in all uppercase. I'm saying, well, you know what? You could probably do the same thing instead of just uppercase. You could probably do a lowercase as well, right? Yes, you can. You can do lower, and it can execute this. So now if I say, it's now the Hogfather, enter. Now there's uppercase and all lowercase, even though I capitalized the T and capitalized the H. And now, let me do something like this and just say the book title is now... But this time, instead of doing this, let's not even do the dot uppers. Let's just do something a little bit else fun. Let's just say it's book title times 3. Now, you probably went, David, you told me you can't do math with, this is a string. This is clearly a string. How do I multiply it by 3? You'll see. So let me just say the name is Bob. Here's what a times 3 does. It just prints the same string 3 times in a row. And now, let's do a replace. Whoops, wrong button. Boop, there we go. So now, let me do book title, and this time instead of doing dot upper, let's do dot replace. Now I'm going to replace something about our book title. And the first thing I'm going to replace is, going to be over here. So let's just say I'm going to replace the word the, and separate with a comma. Now the second thing I'm going to put is what I'm going to replace it with. So I'm going to find the word the and replace it with duh. Okay? So now if I were to execute this, and I type in the Lord of the Rings, now I have this bottom one that says the Lord of the Rings. And that's basically just some fun things we can do with strings. We can change them to uppercase, change them to lowercase. There's other cases as well. There's a title and other sort of things. There's a one that reduces all the spaces, so all the little blank spaces would get removed. That sort of stuff. And actually, I could probably also use a roundabout way with replace to do that as well, and instead of just replace the spaces and put it with nothing, that sort of stuff. I got one that repeats it over and over again. So that's just some fun stuff we can do with strings. Come back in the next video and we'll see some fun things we can do with integers. Okay? Have a great day. See you in the next video.